Judge a man by his questions rather than by his answers. If you have the courage to ask the question, you should have the courage to ask it openly. I would rather have questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned. Don't be so foolish as to think that by ignoring the hard questions life won't become hard. Courage doesn't happen when you have all the answers. It happens when you are ready to face the questions you have been avoiding your whole life. Teachers with better questions create students with better outcomes. Good books make you ask questions. Bad readers want everything answered. There are no foolish questions, and no man becomes a fool until he has stopped asking questions. The scientist is not a person who gives the right answers, he's one who asks the right questions. Always ask the questions you want to. Life is too short to know if you'll get a second chance to ask, and afterlife is probably too long to wonder what the answer may be. People love answers, but only as long as they are the ones who came up with them. Ask the hard questions. Ask the questions that scare you. Because if you don't, the question that you'll soon be asking yourself is, why has life become so hard and scary? Most of our battle is asking the right question. Growth always requires the questioning of one's current position. Any fool can find answers. People who ask new questions, they are the geniuses. Sometimes the answer is less about the answer and more about the fact that we were brave enough to ask the question. Great teachers answer your questions and leave you to question their answers. Asking questions will get you further than giving answers. Doing the right things is more important than going fast. If nobody asked questions, then we would never learn anything. Questions loosen ligaments of cramped minds. Spirited inquiry releases us from trying to solve a problem with the same thinking that caused the problem. All questions can be answered if one is prepared to take the trouble to find out what they are. We have all the answers. It is the questions we do not know. I ask questions mainly as a means of trying to figure out what the real question is. When someone asks a question, don't assume they don't know the answer. Clever people will always test you. One of the most powerful ways we can learn from others is to ask, "What do you think?" and be open to the answer. Little questions can sometimes solve big problems. A wise man never regrets the questions he asks. Only the ones he didn't ask. Ask the questions you want to, not the ones you think you should. Questions can be more dangerous than swords. Good books often answer questions you didn't even know you wanted to ask. The hardness of the fall will be determined by the hardness of the questions that we refuse to ask. Do you ask enough questions? Or do you settle for what you know? If you ask a stupid question, you may feel stupid. If you don't ask a stupid question, you remain stupid. The questions you don't ask are just as important as you do. The questions you ask show what you understand, and ones you don't show what you know. The only way to learn new things is to ask questions and be curious. Find the people who inspire your curiosity, because those are the ones you will most learn from. You shouldn't ask a question until you are sure you want to hear the answer. If you dare ask questions, you will find the answers. You can tell whether a man is clever by his answers. You can tell whether a man is wise by his questions. When I had all the answers, the questions changed. Question marks are shaped like hooks for a reason. They will hook the reader and drag them deeper into the story. At the end of the day, the questions we ask of ourselves determine the type of people that we will become. Why are you asking $1 questions with the same breath you could be asking $1 million questions? Asking questions is an art.